Okay, once again, attempting to survive the final days of the Battle of France. And let's take a look at the briefing. Cross a bridge to get to the opposite side of the river. Seems simple enough. Okay. June 14th, Paris apparently has fallen. I think the obvious target would seem to be this bridge, but based on the trench there, it looks like this bridge is defended, and there is no way this lone squad is getting through any defenses. I don't see any other route. It's that bridge or bust. I see a tank around here. Yes, here. Maybe this tank can make it possible. Well, so few forces on the field, so few options. There's not really a whole lot of planning to do. Gotta send these forces to the bridge. The tank is the only hope for them to break through, so hopefully I don't encounter any anti-tank guns. Nothing to do but roll the dice. This is probably going to be another short one. Oh, bugger. Okay. So this tank here, with its 13.2mm machine gun, should theoretically be capable of killing this armored car. We're looking at like almost 600 meters. It's got about 8mm of penetration at 500 meters. That's not really ideal. This thing has about 8mm of side armor. Okay, need to get closer if we're gonna knock it out. And of course, my tank is outgunned by this armored car, which, you know, is kind of a weird facet of early World War II. Is armored cars have almost as much firepower as tanks. At no other point in history is that going to be the case. But anyway, if I want to take this thing out, I need to get closer. And hope that that 20mm autocannon doesn't punch right through my measly 13mm of frontal... Oh my god, oh, fuck. That's a 37mm anti-tank gun. That isn't going to pose a gigantic threat to late war vehicles or even mid-war vehicles. That'll slice right through my 13mm of frontal armor. I mean, I guess it'll always pose a threat to armored cars. Okay, how are we doing on range here? Okay, give him a burst. I suppose are there any hit decals to indicate if any of those rounds made it in? No. Alright, get closer. The side is more or less flat on. It does have some sloping. Oh yeah, that side armor is sloped enough that being just close enough to punch through a bit more than 8mm of armor isn't close enough to actually get through that 8mm of armor. I'm really lucked out in that hasn't killed my tank yet. Okay. That AT gun, about 600 meters from my rifleman. Okay. Should be... Watch it. Give him a burst. That AT gun just fired. Okay, fortunately it didn't get any kills, but given how small this squad is, I really can't afford any casualties. Gonna have to hope I'm only facing that armored car and AT gun, which it wouldn't make any sense for me to only be facing that armored car and AT gun. Why would these be left without so much as a single infantry squad to protect them? So I'm betting there is a squad of infantry in that trench. Yep, and there they are. Okay. Damn! Okay. Well... maybe I should have... Yeah, if I'd moved them further right, they might have been more in the line of sight of the AT gun. Yeah, if I'd maybe moved them along a route where I had some, like a little further to the right, where they might have had some concealment from that armored car until they got closer. That was my only anti-armor capability that I just lost. It's the heavy machine gun on this tank. Without having any way of possibly being able to knock out that armored car, this battle is already lost. The only sensible thing to do would be to retreat. Right, so yeah, I was right, this is a short one. Let's go through the motions of actually trying to retreat. Well, I suppose this was our breakout attempt. Can't break out, can't fight. Yeah. What was the situation again? There. Yeah, having lost that tank, that destroys any chance I had of getting through here. I don't have even so much as an anti-tank rifle. No further anti-armor capability. The only thing for my guys to do right now is to throw up their hands and surrender. I suppose they could try to run away, probably just have to surrender later. I suppose I could, just for the sake of the gameplay, charge forward and get them all killed anyway. I don't know what the point of that would be. No chance of actually succeeding. I don't have any options here. There are no covered routes. I can only approach them pretty much head-on, over the open. No mortar and artillery support. No indirect fire of any sort that I can bring down. No tank support. Single squad. Yeah, okay. This battle is over. I lost. It would make no sense to to continue to charge my men forward and get them all killed. Oh, I thought that might bring up an end screen. But anyway, we know the casualties. Germans 0, me down 1 tank. Actually, I should have looked at the tank crew. Two of them looked like they were bailing out. Was that a 2-man crew in that tank? Or was there a third? At least a driver and a gunner. I don't know if it was a 1-man or a 2-man turret. So I may or may not have taken a personnel casualty. I think that was a 2-man crew. So both of them, I didn't know personnel. Okay, well, 8 personnel casualties, because captured counts as casualties, and all of them would have surrendered. Okay, very short and sweet. Total defeat, wasn't able to accomplish a thing. The next one really should be longer and more contested and more interesting.